Well, good morning, everyone. This is hopefully our last day here at Green Turtle Bay and Marina. Although, if we were going to be stranded or stuck somewhere for a couple of days, I'm glad it was here. As I said in prior videos, they have just about everything you can imagine here. There sits a Sylvia Sea this morning. We had a good night last night, good night sleeping. Sun's just coming up over the eastern horizon there. A little bit of fog this morning. We'll be heading out after we refill our fuel tanks and pump out our black water. And then heading south on Lake Barkley for about a mile. And we cut across the Barkley Channel to the west, and that will take us on to Kentucky Lake, which is part of the Tennessee River. And from there we will head south through many locks and dams again, and on our way down to the Tombigbee Waterway, which will take us eventually to Mobile. So here's something kind of unique at the Green Turtle Marina. I'm not sure if we have this kind of storage of boats in the northern part of the states or not, but for those of you that have never heard of it, this is called dry stack storage. So it's a building that looks like a large warehouse with racking, and customers will have their boats stored in this giant looking warehouse. And then if they want to use their boat one weekend, all they do is they call the marina, tell them who they are and what date they are planning on using it, and they will come in here with this giant forklift with big long tongs on it, pick their boat out of the rack, and then they proceed to take it down to the marina, set it in the water, and gas it up for them, and it's waiting for them. And then when they're done, they just pick it out of the water again and put it back in the rack. I hope you can see this okay. As we were sitting at the dock here yesterday afternoon after getting tied up, getting power hooked up and relaxing, this boat here came in, and Captain Joe there from Towboat US was saying that this boat was coming in for a couple of repairs. Apparently there's some vibration or something in it. This is a $7 million private yacht. I can't remember exactly what he said the name of it was, the type of the boat, but it's got two big MAN diesel engines in it, which are very powerful. And I think that boat must be, well, it's got to be all of 70 feet long. He said it'll do 50 miles an hour. Incredible. Well, 10 a.m. here Tuesday morning. We left Green Turtle Bay Resort Marina. The guys got the engine fixed. A whole bunch of small issues we had. Right up there is Kentucky Dam. We're currently on Kentucky Lake. After we left Lake Barkley, which is over that way about 5 miles, we went through the Barkley Canal. We're currently on Kentucky Lake, which is a beautiful lake, big lake. It's actually part of the Tennessee River. It goes for about 115 miles. We don't have to go the entire length. We have probably 3/4 of it. And we'll take off on a branch called Yellow Creek, and that's the beginning of the Tombigbee Waterway, which will take us to Mobile. So, steady as it goes here today. We'll go as far as we can, then we'll find a nice anchorage. Well, here we are at mile marker 54 in the Kentucky River, and as you can see, some of the geology is starting to change here. Pretty unique. Tennessee River. We're currently heading south, which is actually upstream. And this is what's left of an old bridge. Looks like it must have went across over here to this point of land. Why they only took out part of it, I have no idea. Maybe for barge traffic, I suppose. There's a public launch right over there, back in there, and then to compensate for the bridge being taken out, they get a car ferry service. So you can drive on, and then they haul you across the lake, and then drive back off again. So we're continuing on our journey. Well, here we are at the Birdsong Marina, about 2 miles off of the Tennessee River. And we came in here yesterday. Very nice marina, owned and operated by Bob Keast and his crew. Very, very friendly, very helpful people. They have a full-service marina here, campground, with everything you can imagine. We came in yesterday with still having issues with our engine, and unfortunately Rochelle and I have decided to abandon the rest of our trip to Mobile. We just didn't feel safe going the rest of the journey, not knowing if we'd have another failure of some other part in the fuel system. Bob was instrumental yesterday in helping me contact Mercury Technical Service. We talked to them about what the issue was, and kind of what I've been saying all along, that I thought it was a fuel pump problem, and the technician agreed. So we've got one on order. It'll be FedExed here to Bob's Marina here at Birdsong, and then we intend on leaving the boat here for a week and a half to 2 weeks, or whatever it takes, until I can get back down here with the truck and trailer to pick it up. But I owe a lot of thanks and gratitude to Bob for all of his help yesterday, today, and the arrangements for getting us to the Nashville airport. We're going to be leaving here shortly for the airport, staying over one night at a motel there, and then catching a flight home tomorrow evening, Friday evening. And then I'll have to start making the plans for the return trip to pick up the boat.